like very young, a child, I liked to do what a lot of kids did. I liked to jump on my mother's bed. It was really fun. Until one day I broke my collarbone. And it sucked. But I learned my lesson. I didn't go near the edge of the bed when I was jumping. I want you to think of a time in your life where you've made a mistake. Did you learn from it, or did you repeat that mistake? Think of that on a bigger scale. Think of that as the entire human race, as one collective psyche that makes mistakes in its past, makes mistakes again, and learns from its mistakes. And one terrible way where humanity has not learned its lesson, where it fell off the bed and broke its collarbone, is in genocide. And one example in genocide is the Holocaust. Now, the Holocaust is when one of the most powerful nations in the world used all of our proud Western things like record keeping, technology, to isolate, concentrate, and exterminate an entire ethnic group, the Jewish people. And one story from that is Eva Galler. Eva's family was all killed as a result of the Holocaust, and she was the only survivor. She fit through a tiny window in a death train where her family was. 2 of her siblings jumped with her, but they were both shot when they got out of the train. And her family died at the death camp that they were sent to. And what strikes to me is that she shares the same name as my sister. And I thought, what if my sister was put through that? And it's unbearable. And what was another bad thing about the Holocaust is that the international community, countries like the US, like Britain, like Canada, did little or nothing, or even worsen what the Jewish people had to go through. One example is in Britain. These are British police escorting some Jewish refugees that got into the country and deported them back to Poland, where they were later killed. And when the American troops came across the first of the death camps in Europe, the world said never again. We thought we learned our lesson. But we didn't. Recently, in terms of history, there was another genocide in Rwanda, where everything, almost a carbon copy of what happened in the Holocaust. There was a government that had anti-ethnic group-like principles. The world saw it coming. And what did the United Nations do to stop it? They sent in a tiny peacekeeping force and pulled them out as soon as some of those peacekeepers got killed. They left Rwanda to its fate. And 800,000 people of an ethnic group named the Tutsis died. We broke our collarbone again. But there have been times in history where we have stayed away from the edge of the bed. We didn't make the same mistake. And one example where we did learn from our mistake was the League of Nations. And here we have the people of the League of Nations. And the League of Nations was formed after World War I to keep peace throughout the world, to bring us to a better future. And as most of us know, there was a World War II, so they didn't do a very good job. But after World War II, we said, no, we're going to have a better. This was their test, the League of Nations' ultimate test. What is modern-day Ethiopia was being invaded by fascist Italy. And this man, the emperor of that country, came to the League of Nations and asked them for assistance. The League did nothing, absolutely nothing. The country was invaded, and World War II then proceeded after. We scrapped the League of Nations and replaced it with the United Nations. This is a poster after World War II showing all the countries united. And the United Nations has brought us to a better future. We've been in numerous peacekeeping missions. We haven't had a world war since, so I consider that a success. We fixed our collarbone. So, today's problems. What can we do? Well, never in all of history has the common person had more of a voice than today. With globalization, we have social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all used to help get our voice out there. Take what's happening in Nigeria right now. A bunch of women were abducted. And celebrities are coming through media, such as Twitter, and they're putting their voices out there. And the countries of the world are responding. The US is getting ready to send in search teams, and Nigeria is also helping. Countries of the world are doing a better job than the Nigerian government. And that's why it's up to all of us to use our voices on social media to make our voices heard. with all of us, we could stay away from the edge of the bed. We could fix our collarbone so we don't break our collarbone. It's all of our responsibility to make sure that we don't fall off the bed now. Thank you for watching.